One of the most beloved British actors of his generation is gone. Anthony Head, the man who became a cultural icon across multiple decades, multiple continents, and multiple generations of fans, has passed away at the age of 72. And the wave of grief pouring in from around the world right now tells you everything you need to know about the kind of man he was. His daughters Emily and Daisy confirmed that their father passed away peacefully from complications due to pneumonia, surrounded by his family. And in their statement, they said something that stopped a lot of people cold. They wrote that their grief is far greater than the hole he has left behind, but that they take comfort knowing his legacy will live on in the shows he was part of and in the audiences that love them. That is not a PR statement. That is two daughters talking about their dad. And it hits differently. Now, if you grew up in Britain in the late 1980s, you knew Anthony Head long before the rest of the world did. Because before Buffy, before Ted Lasso, before Merlin, this man was the face of Nescafe Gold Blend coffee. And before you laugh, understand this. Those adverts were appointment television. They ran from 1987 to 1993, and they followed a slow-burn romantic story between Head and actress Sharon Mon. Britain was genuinely hooked. People tuned in specifically to see what would happen next between these two characters in a coffee commercial. That is the level of charisma this man had. He could make you emotionally invested in an instant coffee advert. The ads became so popular they were later remade for American audiences under the Taster's Choice brand. Sharon Mon, his co-star from those iconic ads, told the BBC she was brokenhearted. She said Tony and she were just two actors who got a job and ended up with a really lovely friendship. She said she loved working with him and thought he was a lovely man. Simple words. But the sincerity in them is unmistakable. Then came 1997 and everything changed. Buffy the Vampire Slayer debuted on American television and Anthony Head stepped into the role that would define him for millions of fans worldwide. Rupert Giles, the Watcher, the librarian with hidden depths, a dark past, and an unshakable dedication to the young woman he was sworn to protect and guide. Giles was not the hero who fought the monsters. He was the one who made the hero possible, and had played that role with such warmth, such quiet authority, and such genuine emotional depth that audiences fell completely in love with him. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who played Buffy herself, posted a tribute on Instagram that has been shared tens of thousands of times. She posted photos of the two of them together and wrote that she does not have it figured out and she is not okay. But she said she knows she is the lucky one because she knew him. She also made a point of thanking his daughters Emily and Daisy for not only sharing their dad with her, but with the entire world. That line alone has brought a lot of people to tears today. David Boreanaz, who played Angel alongside Head throughout the show, said simply that he was so kind and generous of a soul. And James Marsters, who played Spike, went further. He called Head an unflaggingly kind and steady presence on set and said something remarkable. He said Head was the best actor in the cast. Coming from a co-star, that is not a throwaway compliment. That is the truth being spoken plainly by someone who worked alongside him every day. After Buffy ended in 2003, Anthony Head never stopped working. He joined the cast of Little Britain as the Prime Minister, a recurring character in the beloved sketch comedy series created by Matt Lucas and David Walliams. Lucas said in his tribute that when they were casting the show, the team was looking for what they described as a Tony Head type because they never imagined the man himself would be interested. But he was. And Lucas simply said, "Lucky us." Then came Merlin on the BBC, where Head played King Uther Pendragon across 5 seasons. Authoritative, complicated, occasionally terrifying, but always layered. He had this gift for taking characters who could easily become one-dimensional and finding the human being underneath. And then, most recently, Ted Lasso on Apple TV. He played Rupert Mannion, the sleek, manipulative ex-husband of Rebecca Welton, and he was absolutely magnetic in the role. Brett Goldstein, who co-wrote the show and played Roy Kent, said something beautiful in his tribute. He said Anthony Head was a brilliant actor who played the worst person in the world, which was an incredible skill because he was the best person. Think about that. The man was so good at playing a villain precisely because in real life, he was the furthest thing from one. His other credits read like a tour through British television history. Doctor Who, Silent Witness, Motherland, Man-Child, Persuasion, The In-Betweeners, where his daughter Emily played a major role. He played Geoffrey Howe, the deputy to Margaret Thatcher in the Oscar-winning film The Iron Lady starring Meryl Streep. He joined the cast of BBC Radio 4's The Archers in 2018. He appeared in Bridgerton. He had a long and celebrated stage career, including multiple runs in the Rocky Horror Show. He recorded music as a singer. The man simply never stopped creating. Anthony Head was born in Camden, London on the 20th of February, 1954. His mother was actress Helen Shingler, known for the BBC series May Gray, and his father Seafield Head was a documentary filmmaker. Creativity was in his DNA. He trained at LAMDA, the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, and from there built one of the most consistently respected careers in British entertainment across 5 decades. His brother Murray is also an actor, known for the 1971 Oscar-nominated film Sunday Bloody Sunday and the musical Chess, which Anthony himself also performed in. A family defined by art, by performance, by storytelling. And then there is the personal loss that preceded this one. Just months ago, in December of 2025, Anthony had lost his longtime partner Sarah Fisher, an animal welfare campaigner, who passed away at the age of 61. He had been with her for decades. And now, not even a year later, his daughters are making this announcement. The grief stacked on grief in that family right now is unimaginable. His daughters Emily, 37, and Daisy, 35, both followed him into acting. Emily is best known for playing Carly D'Amato in The In-Betweeners. Daisy has appeared in Harlots and Shadow and Bone. They grew up watching their father work, learned from him, performed alongside him, and today they are the ones carrying his name forward. Author Harlan Coben, who worked with Head on the Netflix series The Stranger, wrote on Instagram that everyone on the cast and crew of that show adored Tony. He called him charming, erudite, funny, open, friendly, and so damn talented. He said Head brought joy and warmth and sparkle and wonder to every room he entered. And he said that he was honored to call him a friend. That phrase keeps appearing in tribute after tribute. Every room he entered. There is something about the people who genuinely light up a space, not through loudness or performance, but through presence and warmth and real interest in the people around them. That is the picture being painted of Anthony Head today by person after person who knew him. The official Doctor Who account said it was very sad to report his passing, noting his appearance as the memorable villain Mr. Finch in the episode School Reunion in 2006 alongside David Tennant and Elizabeth Sladen. What strikes you, reading through all of these tributes, is how consistent they are. Not one person has come forward with a complicated story or a difficult memory. From co-stars to writers to directors to fans, the message is the same. He was kind. He was generous. He was talented. He was real. In an industry that can sometimes produce the opposite of all those things, Anthony Head appears to have been genuinely, consistently, remarkably decent. He was 72 years old. He died surrounded by family. And he left behind a body of work that will continue to introduce him to new audiences for decades to come. A teenager somewhere right now is about to start watching Buffy for the first time. And they're going to meet Rupert Giles. And they're going to fall a little bit in love with Anthony Head the way millions of people have before them. That is not a small thing. That is a life well lived and a legacy that does not need anyone to protect it. It will look after itself. Rest easy, Mr. Head. The world is quieter without you.